Hello students. Today we are going to start Chapter 1 Resources. This chapter is of Geography. First, introduction. Our Earth is a unique planet which has opportunities for survival and sustenance of life because Earth is the only planet where life exists. Our natural environment is vast storehouse of innumerable usable substances. Innumerable means uncountable usable substances are found in our environment. We need these things to fulfill our basic needs as well as to satisfy our urge for a better living. Whatever is present in the natural environment, whatever substances that are useful to us that are available in natural environment that fulfill our basic needs also, and it satisfy our urge also for a better living. It leads us to a better living conditions. The forest, the soil, the mines are providing us useful substances. They are having utility for all human beings, means they are very useful for all human beings. If I'll give you one example, Dalu is a tribal living on the fringes, means border of forest. He collects, Dalu is the name of a person, he collects firewood and honey from the forest and sells it in the local market. So a person is there, Dalu, he is a tribal living on the borders of a forest and he collects the firewood, honey from the forest and sells it into the market. Sitanath is a farmer in nearby village. He makes his living by tilling, means by cultivating the crops, by doing the agricultural activity. And Naresh works in a factory in the town where iron from the mines are processed into steel. Irons are taken from the mines and they are processed in a steel. So they are saying there are three persons, Dalu, he collects the firewood and honey from the forest and sells it into a local market for survival and living. Sitanath is a farmer. He do the cultivation of the crops. Naresh works in a factory where iron is processed and converted into a steel. So the forest, soil and mines, they provide us useful substances, usable substances that are utility, means that is useful for all human beings. Hence, these useful substances or usable substances are resource. Whatever the substances we are using, that is a resource. The utility of the substances provide them worth or value and they become resources. This utility, how we are using these substances, it provides them value or we can say worth and they become a resource to us. I tell you the meaning of a resource. Resource means everything which is available in our environment that is used to satisfy our needs. So what is a resource? Everything which is available in our environment that is used to satisfy our needs. That is a resource. So they may or may not have economic value. What is economic value? It is the measurement of the benefit derived from a good or services. When we are measuring the benefit while we are purchasing a good or services, what benefit it is giving to us, that is the economic value. But as long as they satisfy our wants, they are resources. For example, the forest has economic or I can say commercial value. Commercial value means actual price at which the product is being sold. The benefit we are deriving from goods and services purchased, that is economic value, commercial value you can say. It is for the people who sells product gathered from it. The people are selling the products they are getting from the forest. But for you and me, it has only aesthetic value. Aesthetic value, I can say. Aesthetic value is the value of work that contribute to the importance of that product or success of that product to us. Means how that product is useful to us. It is the value of work that contributes the success or importance of that product to us. Your intelligence, your talents may not have economic value now, but once you culture them, means once they are together, you can use them to earn the money and they become your economic valuable resource. Like you are having knowledge, you are having intelligence, you are having talent. Once you combine all these such things, use them in a proper way to earn money, they become your economic valuable resource. Similarly, anything which is patented and sold by the firm is economically valuable. What is a patent? Patent means somebody has invented something that nobody else has invented in the world. So they get that thing patented. Patented means they have been given exclusive right over any idea or invention. Means that person who has invented the product or the thing, he or she can only use that product. Without their permission, nobody else can make or do invention of that same product. Okay, that's why if some invention is being done or some idea is being created, so some people get it patented. Patented means exclusive right over that idea or over that invention, that nobody else can use it without their permission. Resources. The natural substances that have utility and functionality, means the capacity to fulfill human needs, is termed as resource. I told you, everything which is available in our environment that satisfy our needs is a resource. So resource are those materials which are made available and usable by the technology present with the objective of satisfying human wants. So they are made available with the usable by the technology. Sometimes they are usable by the technology which is present, and they satisfy the human wants. Example, coal is only a piece of rock until the power is generated from it or byproducts are produced of the coal. So coal is just a piece of rock until we generate power out of it, or we use coal for some usable material, for producing some usable material or thing. Now the classification of resource. Resources has been classified into two things: natural, man-made. Further, your natural is divided into renewable and non-renewable. Renewable resources are of two kinds: biotic, abiotic. Biotic, natural vegetation, forest, wildlife, human resource, man comes. Abiotic, flow, resource, sun, wind, water comes. Non-renewable resource, it is further classified into abiotic, means one is recyclable metals which we can renew like iron. Another one is exhaustible fossil fuels. Once used, they cannot be renewed again, like coal and petroleum. Man-made are infrastructure and institutions, like your building roads and bridges, and manufacture goods, the goods which is being manufactured. Natural resources are the contribution of nature. Okay, so natural resources are the contribution of nature, that nature has contributed to us. Whatever that exists in nature and is usable by man is called natural resource. Whatever is present in the nature and man is using it, that is a natural resource. Like the air we breathe, the water we drink, the animals and the plants around us, which we use for our needs, means to satisfy our needs, and the metals which we are using to manufacture the other things, all these are your natural resources which you are getting from the environment. These are your natural resources: forest, water, sun. So there are types of natural resources. If I talk about on the basis of origin, it is being classified into biotic and abiotic on the basis of origin. Biotic resources are those resources which are living beings, obtained from living beings. It includes your vegetation, birds, domestic animals, wildlife. Everything which is available in your biosphere, everything which is available in biosphere. Biosphere is the sphere where life exists, which has some utility for man. Means the things, biotic resources are those resources which are present in the biosphere and they are useful to man. Like vegetation, it can give rise to economic activities like forestry can be done, lumbering, pastoral farming, and agriculture. These all such things can be done with the help of the vegetation. What things can be done with the help of the vegetation? Forestry, lumbering, pastoral farming, okay, and agriculture. Lumbering means cutting of the wood. Pastoral farming. Pastoral farming is the farming. It is used to produce the livestock rather than growing crops. They want to produce the livestock, like raising the beef cattle or raising sheep for wool. These all are the example of pastoral farming. Agriculture, growing of crops. Animals and fishes can be used for livestock raising, dairy farming, and fisheries. Man is a biotic resource. We call man a human resource also, because man is the most important source, because the use and development of all the resources, it depends upon the humans. The human use their intelligence and transform the natural things into a usable resource. They convert the natural things into a usable resource with the help of their intelligence. These are the examples of your biotic, abiotic, living things and non-living things. These all are the examples. Abiotic resource are the non-living things or non-living substances. It includes your air, water, land, soil, rocks, minerals which are found in the earth crust. So the air, water, land or soil, rocks and minerals, these are a biotic resource. They can be used directly. For example, I can use the land for house, for making or building the house. Rocks can be used to build the house. They can be used indirectly also, like the minerals which are extracted from the earth can be used in industries to make various products. So with the help of minerals which we extract from the earth, it can be used in the industries for making various products. On the basis of their exhaustibility, the resources are classified into renewable and non-renewable. Renewable are inexhaustible resources, non-renewable are exhaustible resources. Renewable or inexhaustible resources. Flow resources are best example of inexhaustible resources. Flow resources are sunlight, wind, water, air. From time immemorial, water and air are being used by the man. Man is using water and air from many years. It can be repeatedly used, means we can use it again and again. They are replenished by natural process. It can be renewed by a natural process. As their stock is continuous, means it is present to us continuously, so they are called flow resources like sunlight, wind, water, air. They are not going to exhaust from the earth. So they are stock. Continuously they are available. They can be renewed again and again. They can be replenished by natural processes. So this is a flow resource. But the quantity of sunlight is not affected due to its unjudicious use. So the quantity of sunlight we are using, it is not affected due to its unjudicious use. Unjudicious means that we are not proper utilizing it. With advancement of science and technology, we are able to make better use of these flow resources. Like science and technology developed, so we can make better use of these flow resources. Power is also generated from sun, that is called solar energy. The force of wind and waves are used. The force of winds are used for generating wind energy. Waves are used for tidal energy, and even the heat from the earth interior is now used to generate energy, that is your geothermal energy. Force of wind, wind energy, waves, the tidal energy, and heat of the interior earth or earth's interior, that is geothermal energy. These are the examples of your renewable energy sources. These are the examples of your non-renewable energy resources. Renewable resources are those which don't get exhausted with use. As we are using it, we can use it again and again. It is not going to be exhausted from the earth. They may be temporarily diminished with use. Temporarily that thing can be unavailable to us, but it can be renewed again by the natural process or proper management. Like fertility of the soil in agricultural land is reduced while we are using it for cultivation of the crops. But if we are adding manures by doing the proper irrigation system, we can again make it fertile. Biotic resources are renewable resources. They can multiply and are naturally renewed by the process of reproduction. Like forest can also be regenerated by doing afforestation. Afforestation is planting more and more trees. Non-renewable or exhaustible resources. These resources whose stock decreases and it gradually disappears with use. Like you are having a vehicle at your home. You are filling petrol or diesel in it. After using it for some time, that petrol or diesel need to be refilled. It cannot be renewed. So that is a exhaustible or non-renewable resource. They cannot be replenished or recovered. So they are non-renewable resource. We cannot renew it again. The abiotic resources whose quantity are more or less fixed for their formation, it takes millions of years. For the formation of non-renewable resources, it takes millions of years to form. If they get exhausted, they are usually destroyed with use. Example, your fossil fuels. Fossil fuels means coal, petroleum, minerals. They get exhausted with the time. They are not going to renewed again and again. We cannot replenish it with time. It takes millions of years to form. Third is according to the stage of development. According to the stage of development, it is potential and actual resources. The power of wind, water, waves can be harnessed to produce energy, means they can be used to produce energy. Mineral deposit, they lie buried in mountains and oceans. Though these resources have the capacity to fulfill human needs or wants, means your water, wind, waves, they can produce energy, minerals we can take out from mountains and ocean, they can satisfy or fulfill human wants, but we are not utilizing it until technical know-how makes them accessible or usable. Technical know-how means the technology make those things available to us or accessible to us that we can use it. Means the resources they are found in a region, it can satisfy the human wants, but those are not being utilized because technical know-how, because until and unless the technology is being made to make them accessible to us and to make them usable to us. There are vast reserve of resources which cannot be used presently with available technology or infrastructure because we are not having the appropriate technology to use it. The resources which can exist but cannot be exploited presently, means the resources which exist but we cannot use it presently, that is your stock for future. That remains a stock for your future. That is a potential resource, means it is having potential to satisfy human wants, but we are not utilizing it due to technical know-how. We don't know. We are not having the appropriate technology. Water in the ocean. We cannot use it for drinking. Okay, by the process of desalinization, we can solve the problem of the shortage of water. But the process is difficult and extremely costly. We do not have the proper expertise to use it, but our future generation may be able to do so with the further advancement in science and technology. I told you that technology is not being developed till now, the appropriate technology, how to convert the ocean water means for drinking. So we can solve it by desalinization, but that process is difficult and costly. We are not having proper experts for it. But in future generation, maybe experts are available with the advancement in science and technology. Actual resources. Natural substances whose location and condition have been determined and which are already being utilized by present generation. Is natural substances whose location and condition you have already determined where they are found and you are utilizing it. Present generation is utilizing it. That is the actual resource. You have gone in that area, you have surveyed about which resources are present there and you are utilizing it. You have surveyed about the quality and quantity of that resource. It is then obtained and put to valuable resource. I tell you, first we do mapping, where the resources are present. Then we go to that place and we do survey that actual the resources are present over there or not. After surveying, we measure the quality and quantity of that particular resource and how they are valuable to us. Like coal and iron reserves of USA, which have helped in rapid industrialization of the country. Coal and iron reserves. It is an actual resource which the present generation is using it. On the basis of ownership. Individual resource that are owned by an individual. What you are having of your own: land, house, well, orchids. Community resource that are owned by the members of community. The members of the community owned it, like ponds, playgrounds, parks, etc. Members of community can only use it, nobody else. Natural resources which are of the whole country. Whole nation is using it. Who lives in India? Political boundary of that country. Like forest, wildlife, mines, road, bridges, water, land resource. And world resources are the sum total resources of all countries. They are the total resources present in all countries. On the basis of distribution, ubiquitous resources and localized resources. Ubiquitous resources which are found everywhere, you can find those resources. Sunlight, wind, water. These are found everywhere. That is ubiquitous resources. And next is localized resources that are found on the particular places only, at particular place only. Example, coal. Utilization of natural resources. How we can utilize or utility of a resource can be determined. The place where the resources is found means it is accessible to us or not. It is within our reach or not. The form in which it occurs means the quality of the product. It is of high quality, low quality. The awareness of the people about its presence. Does the people know this resource exists and how to use it? And the cost involved in acquiring the resource. The cost involved in taking out that resource. So the place where it is found, it is within our reach or not. In which form it is available means the quality, it is high quality or low quality. Does the people know about it and how to use it? The cost involved. The actual cost involved for acquiring those resources out of the earth. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.